item 13, the Coastal-Burwood Community Board report to Council. And Kim, thank you for waiting. Apologies for having kept you waiting for some time. Okay, so over to you to present the report. Thank you.
Presentation. So we've had an extremely busy start to the year. We have had 2 meetings so far, but we're only reporting on our first meeting today. We have no Part A's at this stage, so decisions under delegations. We've actually got 18 actions, but I'll only be highlighting 5 of them. The first one, as you can see up there, was the lease to Development Christchurch Limited over a portion of the Brighton beach for a period of 18 months for the Christchurch hot pools. So that's, as you know, part of the new Brighton foreshore development and regeneration. So that's really exciting to think that that's going to start commencing this year. The second thing, we have asked staff to carry out a safety review. As you can see up there, that is the entrance to Thompson Park. We've asked staff for the safety review also to include assessing the need for security cameras, lighting, and arrange for the neighbourhood watch to include the park on their visiting schedules. Thompson Park has been on our radar for a while now as a community board, and we need to address the car park, the entrance and the street visibility. And there was a very unfortunate incident in the park at the beginning of this year. A user of the park was assaulted, and as it so happened, at this particular community board meeting we were having an update from the police, which was extremely handy because we were able to ask them about the approach to the situation. So they were also in favour of having visual access from the road as you drive past, as well as the lights and the cameras. So a safety review on this park will be able to give us some direction. The old Central New Brighton School site, the Community Board asked for a further extension until the next, until the end of July. Sorry, picture doesn't reflect, hang on with that one. So we asked for this extension from the Ministry of Education to enable time for any community group to prepare a suitable proposal to take management of all or part of the Central New Brighton School site, such as the Roy Stokes Hall. So thank you for supporting that extension, and the Ministry has granted it, and staff are working with the community. We've got Freedom Campers. As you know, around the wards this is a bit of an issue for all of us. We have just asked the compliance staff to consider updating the monitoring along the foreshore there, especially around Thompson Park and the coastal beach area. We have regularly about 10 to 20 just in that very small stretch, and we actually want to encourage these visitors. However, there does need to be appropriate areas provided to accommodate them, so something for all of us to be working on. The next thing here, you might remember in my last report I mentioned the coastal hazards workshops that we had last year. The main questions that were asked were around the ability to build within the hazard zones. However, there were no resource consenting staff present at those workshops, so the update is we now have 2 workshops planned in the next few weeks for the resource and consent staff, so we're very pleased about that. Just to mention the HOW team in this significant council project, South Shore and South New Brighton Regeneration. So the HOW team are putting together an engagement plan for Regenerate Christchurch Limited, and this will be available by April. So now we come to the picture up on the screen, and that's the Kirito Recreational and Sports Centre, which is very exciting, and this is going to be completed by Queen's birthday hopefully. So the council staff and Apollo team have just pulled out all the stops. They're doing an amazing job. We had a site visit and it is just looking absolutely amazing. So this is a real city asset. We also had the privilege of just hanging out with the guys that were doing the Avonside Girls and Shirley Boys High School build, and this is also tracking very well. Significant community issues, events and projects in our area. So again, the South Brighton Estuary Edge, if you look at this picture, you can just see the destruction of the environment, which could have been avoided. To refresh your memories, this area and along a 300-metre strip was protected pre-earthquakes by Reno mattresses, which are those sloping stone baskets. Some parts slumped down in the earthquakes and left sections vulnerable to erosion, which then has exposed these areas to flooding. So consequently, we have requested, or we're losing, as a result, we're losing, as you can see, trees are about to go, mature trees there, and there's others behind there that are also looking very vulnerable. So as a consequence, the board has asked for an urgent safety audit on these trees. And the devastation of this area and the vulnerable state it is in cannot wait for a long-term regeneration strategy plan. We would like these earthquake repairs to be fixed now. The good news is we've had a bit of progress. We are having another meeting shortly with staff, and we are needing to have action out of this meeting. So looking forward to getting something so that we don't have to keep coming here month after month. Very exciting things we've been having in the ward. The Pukeko Centre opening was a fantastic collaboration between the Parklands Bowling Club and the Parklands Rugby Club. And Leanne opened this fabulous facility, and I think it was someone over here, Phil, maybe mentioned about great examples of community coming together and getting involved together and sorting themselves out, and this is exactly what has happened here in their phase 1 and 2, and they haven't received any funding from the council, so good on them, and it was just a fabulous atmosphere that day. Opening of the Spencer Park Surf Lifesaving Club, very proud moment for these guys. They've worked really hard on this, and it's a real magnificent building on the foreshore there that they can carry out their surf lifesaving activities there. And so the new clubhouse in the community centre is an important milestone for this club, the Spencer Park area and the community. So outstanding multi-purpose building. And then we have a bit of fun activity here. If you haven't given it a go, the Queen's Park Disc Golf Trial project. This is happening and it's been organised by the Parklands Residents Association in partnership with the Christchurch District Golf Club. So have a go. The board approved a trial of this and it is going extremely well. Even had a go myself, so it is a lot of fun. So perhaps check that out if you're in that area sometime. And we've had all these other events. So we've had Parklands at Play. The park was absolutely packed, great day for it, and it was just an opportunity to show exactly all the things that Parklands and Queen's Park have to offer the community. So that was a really fun day. I Love New Brighton, as we've said before, Waitangi Day. There was approximately 7,500 people that turned up to this day in Thompson Park on Waitangi Day, which was awesome, and 20 plus community groups were involved to make this happen, and of course it can't happen without the many businesses and individuals who support this. Oh yeah, we're going to have ferries, they're always there, so that was awesome. So and then the community board wanted to celebrate. We had the jetty and the boardwalk who were damaged in the earthquakes, and they are now restored, and we just wanted to celebrate with the community because these are significant assets for them. We don't have a picture of those because we thought it was really important that you just had a look at who was there. And of course there's Mike Sheffield down there on the right hand corner with Katie, and he's cooking up the sausages, and of course Mike was the project manager for these 3 projects, and we'd just like to really say thank you to Mike and Kelly Hanson for a fabulous outcome. So if you haven't been down, check out that jetty and the boardwalk because it's especially stunning on a high tide and on a sunset. So, but having said that, I'd just like to at this point just say that we have a lot of local events in our area, as you know, because we bring them every month to you. But I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank the staff, our staff and wider staff, because they just do a lot of work to make these events happen, and they're very dedicated and hard working. So thank you for that, staff. Up and coming events, which is always very exciting. The Children's Day this Sunday, 4th of March from 11 till 3, and it's in the red zone. I know Leanne really likes this particular thing, the red zone being activated. So, and also it's just fantastic that the city has these types of event for our children. So another day, take your kids, that'd be great. Garden Prides Award for us, our area, we had 139 certificates were given out, and 77 of those will be presented at a ceremony to be held on Saturday the 17th. So fantastic to know that our side of town is really into their gardening and getting involved in this and wanting to, you know, help the look of the city. The other thing, sorry, we haven't got a picture, but the Godwits are really something that's happening tomorrow. They're leaving all the way for Alaska. This is the 20th year that this has been held, and there's approximately 1,500 Godwits that take off tomorrow. So it's a big event down there in South Shore tomorrow. Finally, we have the Ray White New Brighton Duke Festival of Surfing, Now this event is a big event. It goes over a period of a week. It is organised by the subcommittee of Pier and Foreshore, and they're all volunteers, so you can imagine the work that's involved in organising a week-long event. So part of this will be, and I'm going to read out what is going to happen, along with the surfing competition, who has national and international surfers. You'll be interested to know, Tim. It's just a fantastic competition. There's also a boardroom exhibition, which is a timeline exhibition of surfboards throughout the ages, which is really quite spectacular. I checked it out last year. Also, if you're looking for some art, the Stoked Art Exhibition, they pull together a range of emerging and established artists who find common ground in surfing. So both of these exhibitions are really well worth attending. The art sells very quickly on opening night, so if you're really keen on that, check it out. Also, if you're needing something to do, there's an outdoor movie night, which is in the amphitheatre at New Brighton. It's fantastic to actually use this area. So that they're going to have on, as you can see just up on the bottom right corner there, Moana is going to be on for the kids at 6 o'clock. Good time to bring your sleeping bags down and have a wee picnic with fish and chips. And then at 8 o'clock there's fish people for the adults, so just Google that one. And also there's dinner and bands, and I think Aaron might know the band Soaked Oats and Run 77. So that's going to be an evening that'll be quite fun. You'll be able to get out there and do your stuff. But any of the other details, check on Facebook. And that's us. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Great, lots going on.
Oh, sorry, may I just mention one thing? We were going to have a video for Leanne, who was really keen to see the playground video that we were going to have for today, but since she's not here, we'll save it.
Save that till next time. Yep. All right, great. Now there might be time for just a couple of questions. Dion and Glenn, and then we'll move on to adopt.
How do we know when the Godwits are going? Because I find that quite incredible that you know exactly when they're going.
What time? 5:30.
Do you know why that is? Do you know why that is?
I think maybe if you actually look up the page, you might find that information. Sorry,
I thought you might have known.
Probably not a question for the community board.
It's quite incredible that they go.
The departure time is.
Okay, great, Glenn.
Thanks. Some of the Freedom Campers are apparently making up their own kind of compliance stickers, so NZMCA issues. Is that something we can follow up?
Again, probably not a question for the board chair of this particular part of the city, but it is something that we will be raising. Yeah. Staff are already doing some work as a result of a set of resolutions for another community board, and it's something that I'll be raising when I attend the meeting with the Minister of Tourism in Wellington. Okay. So yes, it's on the radar. All right, and now there's one thing we need to do before 12:30, and then I'll come to you, Dave. I'm going to move that we go beyond 3 hours meeting time, and do I have a seconder for that? Tim, all those in favour? Against? That's carried. Very conscious we've still got the zone committees waiting as well. Dave, and then we'll do this.
Yeah, not a question, but just a further addition to Kim's report. Just on that Pukeko Centre, which is a combined facility that the Parklands Rugby Club and the Parklands Bowling Club got together to create a local community. One of the absolutely delightful aspects to that facility is that they have utilised the school hall of the old Freeville School and a learning centre from the same school and relocated them. So not only is it a great example of two groups in the community getting together, but they've also utilised buildings that have become obsolete as part of the Red Zone and Ministry of Education restructuring. So it's been a fantastic thing. The only downside to the opening day was that unfortunately they spelt the mayor's name wrong on the plaque.
Yes, and I did notice that actually. Yeah, no, that's great. Now I noticed Mary made a note of that as well, so I don't know whether there's anything can be done about it, but yeah, that was one thing that I spotted. All right, so we've got the motion to receive the community board report. Dave, happy to move. Glenn, happy to second. All those in favour? Against? That's carried. Kim, thank you very much indeed for a really thorough presentation on what's happening in the east of the city. That's great. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.